Idaho is recognized.
Madam Chairwoman, I yield 2 minutes to the gentleman from Kansas, Mr. Huelskamp.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I rise today to speak in favor of the work the committee did in this bill to protect Americans from an additional unnecessary regulatory burdens. In particular, I want to thank them for protecting landowners in rural Kansas and elsewhere across the nation from attempts by the Army Corps and the EPA to regulate from Washington every single drop of water that falls to the ground. When it passed the Clean Water Act, Congress never contemplated and certainly never authorized a definition of navigable waters that covered roadside ditches, prairie potholes, water tanks, or farm ponds in Kansas or elsewhere. This proposed rule by some bureaucrats in far-off Washington is a clear violation of the separation of powers within our Constitution, and ultimately, it is nothing more than a power grab of private property. In practice, this rule would require Kansas farmers and ranchers to apply for costly permits, to apply for permission to perform routine farming activities like building a fence, fertilizing, or even plowing. And if our food producers have to pay more to comply with Washington over-regulations, Americans will see it in higher prices at the grocery store. Mr. Chairman, only in Washington would they try to define standing water in a ditch surrounded by prairie in Kansas as water capable of navigation. It's time for the administration to ditch this rule, and until then, this Congress should not spend a single penny advancing this massive 370-page rule. I support the provisions in this bill, and I yield back the balance of my time.
The gentleman from Kansas yields back. The gentleman from Idaho reserves. The gentlelady from Ohio is recognized.